All right, so good morning. Welcome, everybody. My name is Andrea Rosser, and I am here with the wonderful, talented Haley Lee, and we're going to be walking you through EchoHub. And so hopefully you guys have seen, obviously you wouldn't be here if you hadn't seen something. You've seen that we've got something coming, we've got something new, and something that we've been working on for some time now that is going to allow us all to scale our Facebook. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here, um, hopefully. And why do we want to scare or excuse me, not scare. I know it's Halloween, but we're not scaring it. Why do we want to scale our Facebook? Well, because that is where our sales are made. When we are running a system of growth, um, we need eyeballs to see all of our posts. Sorry, there was a little bit of feedback. Wasn't sure what that was. I got nervous. We need people to see our posts. And, right in the beginning, everybody sees these posts and we move boxes. But then what we see is our engagement goes down because guess what? Only about 1% of our friends on Facebook are actually seeing our content. And so, Haley, feel free to unmute and jump in at any moment. But what this app is allowing us to do is to expand our reach. So what we're going to do here is we're going to be making some posts. That is going to grow our engagement. That's going to allow us to interact with new people daily. What does that do? What do new people do for us? They grow our business, right? That's our goal. We're here to grow our businesses. So I know that we love Facebook and we love doing different things, and I like sharing pictures of my dog. But you know what I really love about Facebook? It allows me to grow a business with Partner Co. and really bless a lot of lives that way. So that is our goal here. So when you get in here, um, we have this one of the main sections, and this is where I'm going to recommend that you spend the majority of your time. And I am going to say a term here that's going to sound a little weird, but I'm going to ask each and every one of you to do this dirty. Don't worry about making sure it's perfect. I was talking to Haley the other day, and when we were crafting the training, we were kind of, okay, I'm going to say I was making it really complicated. And Haley's like, well, is that what you did when you got started? Because that's not what I did when I got started, and I got phenomenal results. So I went, okay, you're right, you're right. We probably need to pull this back a little bit and just focus on what we actually did to grow engagement. And so we're going to talk about each of these sections. We know that on top of that, we have 2 posts a day, our system of growth transformation posts. So that is still going to be our daily operation. We are still going to post those beautiful transformations. Kim Gray is all over social media and the entire world for a reason. That post makes a difference. It attracts people to us. It attracts people to say, what in the world are we doing? And then we're going to do everything on the right in order to bring more people to the table, to allow more of Facebook land to see us. And just remember, though, done is better than perfect. And each of these pieces are designed to work together. So Haley, you want to talk a little bit about, why we've got to do all the pieces in this recipe?
Yeah, so her picture here is of brownies. And if you want to make perfect brownies, then you've got to have all of your ingredients, right? And so these are the ingredients that you'll see within the app on the daily workflow that are going to make your brownies perfect. They're going to optimize your views. They're going to bring people in that you may have honestly forgotten about that are you're connected to on social media, and they're going to drive engagement like you have never seen before. It is crazy when you start using it. But to her point, and I want to reiterate this, it does not need to be perfect. Okay. It's going to take you several days of playing with it to kind of find your groove, but it's just got to be done. You just got to check the box. So, uh,
Love it. Thank
anything
you.
else you want me to say about that? Okay.
No, that was perfect. And so, a lot of times they're asking, they're getting in there and they're a little bit, well, overwhelmed maybe in the beginning because they're like, well, what do I post about? What is my brand identity? What's my bigger idea? Because we're going to see these terms. And yes, there is training that you can delve into the app, but broken down incredibly simply, because we're all about simple here, is what are some areas of interest for you, right? What are some things? So the way that I think about it is, if I am going to go play on Facebook, right? What am I going to look at when I'm playing? And what are the things that are going to draw me in and make me interested? And I want to spend some time in those spaces, because guess what? Those things that interest me are also things that interest people like me. And people like me are also interested in some health, some wellness, maybe a little bit of feeling more confident in their skin by, losing a little bit of weight, getting a little bit more tone, whatever that looks like, right? So I'll give you an example kind of based on me, kind of a little bit more general, but who is Andrea? And I'm going to say she's a little bit crunchy. She's a homeschooling mama. And under that, there's some things that kind of feed into that. So we've got to think about 4 areas for you. So one is, what is your connection with Partner Co, right? Maybe, Haley is a CEO mom, right? She's a boss mom, and her interest with Partner Co, yeah, she likes, health and all of that, but really it was finances, right? She wants to take her family to the next level. I'm speaking for you, Haley.
Yeah, keep
Sorry,
going.
um, I talk too much. You're not anyway. Okay, we're gonna try. But that, for me, it might be natural, non-toxic living. That really lights my fire. I'm already in groups in that area because that's interesting to me. It could be alternatives to prescriptions. I think that, Haley, that's something that really interests you as well. So think about you. What is your connection with Partner Co? Like, maybe it's like Ashley Paulson. I'm gonna speak for you, Ashley, but it's leaving a legacy, right? She's living a legacy, and she wants to leave a legacy for her family. And that is her connection with Partner Co. And then think about your hobbies. What are some things that you do for fun, right? Maybe you love to travel. You want to bebop around this entire world. Maybe you love fitness. Maybe you love cooking. I don't understand that, but maybe you do, right? So things that you love. And then, Haley, if you wouldn't mind telling us a little bit about passion and maybe some spaces of interest.
Yeah. So again, you're kind of identifying your 4 areas of interest when it comes to your passion. For Andrea, parenting and homeschooling. We have a German Shepherd at our house. And so I would say that that's one of mine. She's like a kid. And then faith is definitely another one. And so any kind of scripture reference or encouraging word, you would be surprised how many people need that in their day to day and don't get it. And so if faith is important to you, then certainly feel free to share things like that. And then when it comes to your space of interest, what do you like to do? Like what do you want to spend your time doing? So for some, it's reading. For me, I like to know more about how to invest money, where to invest money. Home design and decorating. We built a house a couple years ago, and so I love to shop on other people's card and go shop for furniture and go shop for wall hangings and things like that. So not always fun when you're paying for it, but it is a lot of fun to me to put colors together and fabrics and all of that. So figure out what space interests you and kind of make a list of these things so that you can identify the different categories. And these are the posts. This is the content that you're going to be sharing with your network for all of the different boxes that you'll see on the daily workflow when it comes to entertaining them or when it comes to educating them, that kind of thing.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Haley. So we're going to move on to the next, but I would just take a little bit of time to kind of figure this out, and you might figure it out as you work through it. But that's going to help you get more content and just make the flow a little bit easier. So the first post, and I'm going to go through each, we're going to go through each of the action items inside the app. So the first one is a call to action post. And what does this mean? This is where we ask people to engage with us and we ask them to do something specific. So this could be the one of the system of growth action posts, because if you think about it, there's some in there and you'll see that they're about once a week, where it'll say, I'm down to one box, comment below if you want to be one to get it, right? But it's asking for a specific action for you to do. So I think about and I was actually about to do one during the IPA and I kind of lost it, but I'm going to get it back. But it was, okay, people, talk to me about Halloween. I'm middle-aged, my kid is a big teen, so I'm in that season of life where all I get to do is hand out candy. Now I'm kind of excited about it, but I want to do something a little bit more fun. So what do you do to celebrate? If you celebrate Halloween, what do you do that's kind of fun if you don't have littles to run the neighborhood with, right? If you can't go to the trunk or treats anymore because that'd be kind of weird if you were dragging your 17-year-old, right? Tell me below what you're doing for Halloween. So does that have anything to do with my business? No. But am I asking people to answer a question for me? Absolutely. Okay. So that is going to be an example of a call to action. And we just want to make sure that our business call to actions are only about once a week, because we're going to attract plenty of people throughout the week and we're going to have people to play with. And we're going to give them a way to interact with us that is more authentic. We're going to build that authority so that when we do a call to action that has to do with the business or the drops, they respond, right? So we're going to grow that emotional bank as we're moving through. And then once a week, we're going to throw some business out there. So Haley, if you wouldn't mind telling us a little bit about creating a reel and what I do if I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, so creating reels were honestly very new to me as well. I'm not a social media expert at all. And so I've had to spend some time Googling and YouTubing and asking AI and Chat GPT for different ideas, right? You can actually also create reels within Canva. And so a lot of you use Canva for your graphics when it comes to hosting drop talks or doing shout outs and things like that for your team. And you can actually create reels within Canva. The idea of the reel is to create something that captures views. And so several times I've used the Boomerang app in order to capture that as well. And so that's just a quick, yep, I had one. I'm big on builder gel. If you go look at my wall, I've posted this actually a couple of times over the last few months and have been amazed at the thousands of views that I've gotten on that particular boomerang um, related to builder gel on my nails. And so it can be anything fun. It could be you using your little frother thing to mix up your product, right? Like it can be, make it fun, make it light, but have fun with it. And then you can also add photos to a post and Facebook will actually create a reel for you. So it is something that you'll have to play with, right? And kind of get used to. But it doesn't take you very long. And like Brent was talking about on the IPA call this morning, I try to schedule my things for the day, just so that I'm not in the moment freaking out like I need to do a post and I don't know what to do, or I need to do a reel and I don't know what to do. So the more scheduled you can be with this, obviously, the better for you, because we're all busy. We're all running around doing different things and helping team and picking up kids from the carpool line and all the things, right? So go into it as prepared as you can be each day.
Absolutely. So next we've got an educate post, and this is going to be teaching somebody from one of your areas of interest. And so it could be like if you are, an exerciser, well then I don't I didn't say that well, so you know what I'm not, right? But maybe you have some fitness tips on how somebody can make their time in the gym more efficient. Maybe you are a cook and you post a recipe of a day and you say, this is how I start my morning and I have more energy because of it. I did one this morning about coffee, right? Where I'm like, hey, if you're like me and you need the coffee to boost your day, like you need this caffeine to do its job, wait 45 minutes. I didn't know this, right? This is something that I learned throughout time, that I've got to make that sleep hormone go down, burn off some of that cortisol, and then boost myself with the caffeine. So that was an educate post that was super simple. I mean, it was this big, so this doesn't have to be some big, drawn out, crazy thing. But maybe it's, I think about, so I'm a book nerd. So one of the things, like one of my areas of interest is books, and I'm in all these different book groups. So pick the book that made you feel like a better person this year, or it moved you to tears, or whatever, right? And go write a little synopsis about it. And then you can post it on your wall. I'm educating you on a book. Haley, she knows how to do this well, how to get your puppy to sit. I don't know how to do this. I've got two dogs and they listen when they want to. But you can use different tools to help you. So if you're sitting here going, well, I don't know what to educate somebody on, well, go search, right? Use the good old Google, or move into AI. We do have some AI tools within the post or within the app, so you can go in there and play in there, or you can jump on over to, I use Chat GPT. Many people use Claude, or I'm sure there's a million of them, but go use a tool to help you and say, hey, help me write a post that is an educate post, and my area of interest is gardening, and it will create something for you. And then you can modify it to make it better and all of that, but just use the tools that are at your fingertips. So Haley, if you wouldn't mind talking a little bit, there's actually 2 slides on this. Oh, no, yes, there are, on how to engage with your network.
Yeah, so if there's one check box I think that is probably the most important out of all of them, this is just my personal opinion. It is going to engage with your network, and that's people outside of PartnerCo. It's people that maybe you've honestly forgotten that you were even connected to. And so there's a couple of different ways that you can do this. Like you can export your Facebook friends list into an Excel file, which is what I did. Um, if you don't know how to do that, you need to Google it. You're going to have to kind of dig into this, right? And figure some things out when it comes to how to export reports like that. Maybe you're a pen and paper kind of person and you just want to print your whole friends list. You can do it however you want, however
Dr. Elit,
works.
isn't that the guy?
Sorry, however works best for you. Um, but basically, what you want to do is identify 20 plus people a day that you can connect with. And so I would say go comment on their post if they've posted within the last 6 weeks. Um, Ask genuine questions, or make a genuine comment based on their post. Or um, if their last post was more than 6 weeks ago, like I've realized in going through mine, that several of my friends never post on social media. Maybe they're just tagged by a friend or family member. I've unfriended several of them. You kind of have to decide, right? Like who you're willing to unfriend. If they're a family member, then maybe you can't unfriend them, but you have to decide who you're willing to unfriend. But people who are not active on Facebook for this particular app are driving down your algorithms. And so you really want to pay attention to who's active and go engage with those people.
Yeah, I'll tell you,
This is,
that
oh,
are,
you want me to walk through how to, okay. So if you look at these screenshots right here, if you go to your page and then you go down to friends, so it's better for me to look at it and walk through. So from your Facebook app, when you click on your picture in the bottom right hand corner, and then from that next screen, you go to friends, which is the second screenshot right here. Oh, sorry, I clicked the wrong thing. And then you go to your friends right here. Then you can actually sort your friends from oldest to newest or whatever. And that is where that's another way that you can find people without having to print or export your friends list. You just keep up with who you last commented on and then scroll down the next day to find that next person. And you can go through your list that way.
I love it. And I'll tell you, I don't know what this says about me, but my favorite thing has been unfriending. I unfriend people every single day. So I'm like, I don't know them. They haven't been on social media in 6 years. Like, why am I still having this connection on there? But if it's somebody like, okay, I'll tell you who I haven't unfriended. I did a Bible study, like, okay, my son's 17. He was a baby, so 16 years ago. And I met a ton of people there. And you know what? A bunch of these ladies are not active on Facebook, but I love them with every fiber of my being. So I am not letting them go. But one thing I have been doing is people like that, that I'm like, you are not here. You're not in this app anymore. I'm messaging them. So if I can, I'm going to message them on Facebook or in my text message to say, hey, I'm cleaning up my friends list and it looks like you're not on Facebook anymore. Where can I find you? Because I want to interact with you. Well, what does that do? That stirs up another conversation with somebody that you love. And so what does it mean? What do we do with that list? So what you're going to do with this list, Amita, is we're going to go to their page. So if I go in here and let's just say that and I'm going to probably sort by oldest. I'm not going to leave the generic sort because these are the people that I interact the most with. It's my daughter, Brent Palmer, and my sister. So like I'm working with these people already. I'm going to sort and I might say people that most recent friends or probably my oldest friends. And I'm going to go to their wall and I'm going to go see their last post and I'm going to go comment something. They have a picture of their breakfast. Well, yeah, it's 4 weeks ago. I don't care because Facebook gives us stuff at all different times. And I'm going to say, that looks delicious. What did you, what are the ingredients, right? I'm going to try to ask some kind of authentic question there. Sometimes that can be a little bit harder. We don't want to be creepy, but we're going to just try to ask something in there. So thank you for that, Haley. Next is the entertain post. And what I'm finding that this is the hardest category for me. I think I'm funny. I really do, but I don't know if the rest of the world does. So I would just say when you're looking for these, you don't need to create it, right? You can go find it. If something makes you laugh, if something makes you cry, I would probably steer away from if something makes you angry, but that's just me. If something makes you feel a big feeling, go grab it, steal it, and make it your own. What you want to make sure that you don't do is actually share somebody else's post, because if you see something like I saw something that was pretty funny today on Kimberly Brecka's uh, profile, and I laughed out loud and I went, there's my funny for the day, right? Love you, Kimberly, thank you. If I just click the share button on her post, what I just did was I boosted her engagement, but I actually lowered mine because Facebook said, oh, Kimberly was funny, you're not, but she was. So we're going to go put out more of Kimberly's stuff. So I love her and I might do that every once in a while to help her, but I don't want to harm me. So what I'm going to do is I might save the photo or take a screenshot or download the reel, right? Using maybe another third-party app. There's one that's called Friendly, and you'll have to learn that if you choose to. It's free, but you can go download and steal somebody else's content and make it your own. Okay. And with that, like if you guys saw recently, I did one that was a little sad possum that it thought it was having the time of its life eating candy. Then it got scared and it fell over. Right. That was not my porch. That was not my possum. But I did steal it. And I don't know how many views it's gotten, quite a few. So make that, something that makes you feel a feeling. And a lot of times what you can do is you can literally jump on Facebook and say, funny meme of the day, funny post, funny whatever. And guess what? It's going to feed you some funnies. And I just will do that maybe once a week. I'll save some things to my phone and then I will push that out throughout the week. So that's the entertain post. And Haley?
Motivate, yeah, motivate posts. You want something that's going to be encouraging to people. Um, if you use a color block, you want to make sure that it's the same color every time. So pick your favorite color, but make it the same color each and every time so that your network gets used to seeing that color and they zone in on what you're saying. Um, when you're motivating people, like I go through Instagram even and save graphics. I steal people things from other people as well, Andrea, after I comment on it and validate them. But you can go grab tons of different images, right? And save them to your phone. Maybe you save them as a favorite so that they're easy to find. I don't know about y'all, but I have more than 30,000 pictures on my phone. And so if I've saved a lot of content over the last several days, and then I'm in a panic trying to find that one particular image, I can't find it. And so maybe save things to your favorites. And then once you've posted it, you can actually delete it because then it's going to pop up in your memories whenever you look back a year from now. So, memories is another place where I've gotten several of my motivational posts because that's always been important to me from a standpoint of coaching and mentorship and encouraging people. And so, use your memories as kind of a bank of graphics as well when it comes to sharing content too.
Perfect. So hopefully you guys are seeing this. I'm getting some comments that we've got a fluttery screen. I don't know, it looks good to me, but it's my screen. So we're going to pray for strong internet today. Next is to post in your stories. And the best thing about this is it's not something new. You've got all this content that you've shared now to your wall. Grab something and throw it over in stories. And, if you ever want inspiration on how to use stories even more effectively, go follow Ashley Paulson. When I'm on her stories, I feel like I'm with her, right? I feel like I'm spending a day with her. I'm going for a walk. I'm playing with puppies. Like I'm doing different things. And I feel like I know her. And that's really part of the goal of this is where people are going to get to know us. They love us. They want to be with us and maybe do business with us. So you can copy the post you've already made. You can step it up and do a little bit more in there, but you don't necessarily have to do something new right in that spot.
Perfect. Sharing content into groups. And so you'll see in the app that you need to go join 40 groups, I would say, per category, right? Per interest, hobby, all the things. And so once you have posted something that you feel like would be beneficial to share within five five groups a day, then you want to take your posts are all going to be public, right? And so once it's posted to your wall, then right below the post, you can click share. And then the screen that pops up will say, where do you want to share it? Do you want to share it in Messenger? Do you want to share it into groups? And when you click on share into groups, then it pulls up a screen and it shows you all of the groups that you're a part of. And so let's say that it's some sort of motivational quote, right? You want to go share that if your interest is faith, right? Then you want to go share that into some of your faith groups or groups that you think it would be appropriate to share that particular post to. And the idea, honestly, is for your post to go viral, right? And for you to start getting the 91% of views like Tracy Mazeroski, whose post went viral, and the majority of the views on that reel were people that she's not connected to. And so that's the point in sharing your content into groups.
And I think this has been, besides what Haley said in terms of interacting with people, like that's the number one thing, but this is the number two. When we share our content in groups, that exposes us to people that never knew us. I get friend requests every day now from sharing this. So when we say share in the group, just make sure that you're following what Haley said, that you're making the post on your wall, but then you're sharing it below into somebody else so that when you go into that group, we've all seen them where it says like, Tana made this post and it shows like her actual post with maybe some words about it. Well, that directs people back to you so that they can find you on Facebook. Now, the reach out. Find somebody today on the team to love on. I love that this is included. And this isn't even necessarily designed to boost the algorithm or anything like that. This is just designed to remind us why we're actually doing this. I'm in this business to feed my babies and to help other people feed theirs. Right? That is my goal. I want to be able to provide options for my family and options for your family. And I'm so grateful that you joined me in this business. So I'm going to go love on you. And this is just a beautiful little reminder to go love on your team, right? And I would throw, just a little side note here, throw some corporate in there too, right? Like if you're friends with Alondra on Facebook, go send her some love because she makes our business roll, right? Anybody with corporate, and obviously it can be cross-lined as well because we're so grateful for everybody. We're all better together, but just go love on somebody today. And that's going to help, boost just the feeling within the team.
Yeah. So you want to make sure that you're constantly improving, right? Like you're going to feel better with practice, like with anything. And so there are videos there every time you use the app to then go post to social media, that little video pops up. And you want to watch that video every time it pops up. It's only 30 seconds for each category. So it's not going to take up much of your time. But the more you learn about it, the more comfortable you're going to feel. And then under trainings, um, you can watch videos there, obviously, to get more content, if you will. But like we've said several times, the daily workflow item is going to be your most important piece of the app at this point, just so that you get in the habit. So you check the box so that you go collect your coin for the day. Um, and sometimes in this business, as you know, you have to slow down to speed up. And so you may feel like this is a lot to process, and it is, but it's going to help you long term to speed up your business, to increase your engagements, and to get in front of more people. So take the time to learn it and to feel confident with it. And again, it just the box has to be checked, right? Like it doesn't have to be perfect. Just go do it.
Yes, because I know like this was where Haley reined me in because I'm like, well, I didn't watch the videos before I posted, and she's like, neither did I. So why are we telling people they have to before they get started? So don't worry about getting all this in. Just add it in. So start with the videos, start posting, start the daily flow, and then go back in here with this section and get better. So, and our goal with all of this is we're beginning with the end in mind. So, what is your goal? Your goal is to recruit more people. So, when you're thinking about this, you're like the whole thing is designed to increase engagement, which is more eyes on the system of growth posts. So, all of this is going to go around that so that we can all recruit more people because man, aren't we here to create an empire? Like I hope you are. Let's go, pay for our groceries, but then pay for our car note and then pay for that mortgage and then go create a legacy, right? So that is really the end goal. So I'm going to go ahead and stop my share and I'm going to stop the recording